going to, last thing we did was Google Analytics, but now we're going to start directing pay-per-click ads. So as we start firing links into the website, the search engine starts to say, oh, there's some activity going on, there's some popularity, so you get more search engine traffic as a result of that. Okay, so it has a direct effect. The difference, the problem though, is that you have to pay for it.
Right. Search
engine traffic is free, it's organic traffic. Okay? So now we're saying, all right, that's one way of starting the linking system going. Now how do we start improving our text content? Remember that was the other side.
I remember back in the day when you first did that and people would like put in the background, put the word in like 50,000 times so they would be ranked at the very top.
You can't do that anymore.
No, I know you can't, but back in the day it was so funny when they would do that.
Right. So the way to improve your content, your text content, is as we've talked about. You increase your keyword density within your website, right?
So is there parameters about how many times to put a word in? You said 5 or 6, and you probably don't want it like 30 times in your...
it should take about 5%, as much as 5%.
So all the keywords, so you should like maybe have 5 keywords that take up 5%.
And it should take up maybe 5% of the page, right? That's as a rule of thumb. Okay, so the one way to increase keyword density is what? I skipped ahead. How would you increase the number of keywords on your website?
By changing the text so that it...
No.
Keyword text.
You can only do so much on the page. So how would you increase the number of keywords on your website?
Put it in more places.
That's correct.
Yeah.
More pages. Right? It's pretty basic, right? Add more pages to your website. Alright? So the way that you do that, or one way of doing it, and this is what I'm recommending, is you introduce a company newsletter. Right? So you're going to write content, you know, some worthwhile content that your visitors will gain from in a newsletter. And rather than that newsletter being an email, it's actually going to be a page on your website.
So you don't use like Constant Contact? And
you can do that, but let me just explain how this all works. In structuring your newsletter, the engine that drives all of that is what's called an autoresponder. So that's what the Constant Contact is. It's an autoresponder. Now, basically what an autoresponder does is that on your website, on a particular page where you're directing people, you're going to have a web form in there. And a web form is just a data box where you're going to collect some basic information. So what is the basic information you want to collect about people coming to your website?
Name, their email.
Right, that's it. Name and email. If you can capture that name and email, then that's key. Because once you get that information, now you can send it to an autoresponder, which is a third-party website that then puts them into a database. And from that autoresponder, now you can direct people to a newsletter that you structure on your website.